Alright guys, what up? Just got back from the orchard picking some apples. I got 20 bushels here. So we're going to make a bunch of different stuff this time. We're going to do some apple moonshine. We're going to do some apple butter, apple sauce, and apple cider. So get ready for it guys, because here we go. So you know the first step is make sure you clean all your working areas really good. I just scrubbed the sink down really good. Now I got to start washing apples, make sure they're really clean. Once I get them all really clean, I already cleaned all the kitchen area and surfaces areas. I got to go through and wash all my glass jars and all my canning stuff. Fortunately, we just did blackberries, so most of that stuff's out and ready. But if it's been sitting all year long, you're going to want to make sure you rinse it off real good. And even if you buy brand new mason jars like these ones right here, you're going to still want to make sure that they're washed and cleaned before you use them, just because the factory gets all kinds of greases and stuff on them. We also got us a bunch of sugar. Some of this Fleischmann's Rapid Rise Instant Yeast, fast acting. You're only going to need one packet of it and a pair of scissors to cut it open. It's got a real tough shell on it. But I use about a teaspoon per batch. That way it makes the mash really pop off. When I add a little bit of sugar in this, it really gets a good high alcohol content. I'll show you guys what that looks like. So to make a carboy, it's pretty easy. Just get a water bottle that's BPA free so the alcohol don't break it down. Save the lids, pop out that little white insert they come with. Use a little bit of electrical tape or whatever you got to put a hose in it and make sure it's sealed real tight so it doesn't leak air. This is going to go over to the water reservoir, which is a mason jar with some water in it. You're going to make sure that it's about level with this so it doesn't siphon its way back into the water reservoir, but this will keep air from coming back to your mash, and it'll keep fungus gnats out of it and allow it to breathe and degas. Sorry, it's a bit dirty. I just got done with the blackberry mash. Got to rinse it out still. But for each 5 gallons that you get, you're going to want to put a half a packet of this Rapid Rise yeast in it, and then half of a 4-pound bag, so 2 pounds of sugar. And that will help increase the alcohol and set it off really good. And you won't need to cook your mash. All you're going to do is take your apples, and I use a juicer. It's much faster for us, and we have tons of apples. Plus, it keeps the pulp out of your mash. You don't want too much pulp in your mash. For one, it takes away from the liquid alcohol that you could actually get, but it also will settle in your crock pot when you're stilling off your alcohol, and it could burn the bottom of your crock pot out, or it's really hard to get out anyways. But if you're doing copper, it can burn the bottom out. So it's just better to not put as much mash in as possible. Just try to get as much juice in there as you can. But that's basically how you make a carboy for really cheap. I'll go ahead and get on to showing you guys what it looks like after they're full and decarbing. So here we have both of our 5-gallon water bottles that we made carboys out of. And we did this just by using the caps that they came with some black flexible hose. We made sure they're tight with some electrical tape, and then put them inside of a mason jar with some water. That's to keep fungus gnats from coming back at it. But these are real cheap to do this way. They don't need to be made out of glass. You could do it in the plastic bottles. They're food grade. You see the bubbles popping? That's from adding the yeast with the sugar. It helps get it accelerating really quick. We're gonna let this go, and we'll see how long it goes for. But right now it's popping away, so we're gonna let it do its thing, and we'll get back to it when it's done.
Multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, or severe stomach pain. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with a sulfonylurea or insulin.
Alright, so it's been about 3 weeks and it's still popping bubbles. This is one of the longest batches I've ever had go, so we're going to let it keep going, and we'll see how long it actually takes. Normally it's about 10 days, but so far this one's been going for a long time. And maybe it's because we got such ripe apples that had a much higher sugar content, but we'll see how she turns out. She's nice and, not cold but warm, so we'll let her go. All right, so as you can see, the bubbling is slowing down to an extremely slow pace. I mean, it could be 5-10 minutes before a bubble pops, which tells me this mash is pretty much done. It's been exactly 18 days. So we're going to let it go ahead and get it on out of here, get it to the still, and start running our apple shine. Can't wait for this one. All right, so I got my mash here. I'm going to go ahead and pop my lid off. You can already start to smell it's real strong. I'm going to pour it into my kettle. I'll show you guys about how much you want to put in there. And it don't matter that it's got chunks and all that. None of that matters because you're gonna end up cooking this down and then just throwing whatever scraps are in it and what's left over in the tails out. So I like to go to about a little over halfway. Right there. That's my favorite spot. So I want to stay about 3-4 inches away from the top. And that's because on the inside of my lid here, it's got the valve that sits about right here, and I don't want stuff to boil up into it, so I make sure that I stay about 3-4 inches off the top. So I'm going to go ahead and get this outside to where I'm going to run my steel, and we'll get burning. So it's running pretty good now, and I'm collecting. I already put some in the jar, plus I got my heads over there, but yep, now it's kicking off. I'm going to just sit here and collect until it starts to get weak, then I'll separate it out. But gotta just add water to the kettle and keep dumping my bucket. Real simple and easy. Yeah, there it goes. Can't wait to see what we get out of this, but I can already tell you right now, just from tasting it, it is really good. Might call this one apple pie or something. I don't know, but it's a real sweet aftertaste. Very smooth. Okay, so here's the final yield I want to show you guys. This is the hearts, and this is the tails. This is really, really strong, and I mean exceedingly strong, and this starts to get pretty watery near the end. So this is all the yield you get for this pot filled about 3/4 full. So if you think about it, I mean, that's your return. The rest is going to be water and liquids that wasn't converted to alcohol. That takes a lot longer to burn off. But I don't know if this is a great yield or not for this pot size, but it takes 5 runs just to do 1 5-gallon carboy full of mash. So you see why I want a bigger still, because this takes a lot more time. It takes about 2 hours to run this. It takes about 45 minutes for it to start kicking, and then, I don't know, I would say 1 hour and 15 minutes for it to finish by the time you get to the ends here. And probably I had to change the water in the copper coil probably about 10 times. So that gives you an idea about each run, and I'm going to go ahead and start burning through it. Yeah, it is slow. It takes a lot of time to do it like this with a small kettle size, but I could sit here and watch this all day long. I don't know about you guys. And the smell is just unreal, so it's worth it for me. But I'm just sitting here collecting. I'm already ditched my heads into the jar over there, and I'm going for the hearts right now on the second batch. Can't wait to see how much I get out of all this, but no matter what, it makes great Christmas gifts and something fun to drink, so gonna just sit here and keep going at it. So after it's all said and done, this was how much alcohol I got out of both of those 5-gallon water bottles filled with mash, which actually had about 4 gallons in each one probably, so about 8 gallons. Of course, we separated all of the heads, which was the methanol, and I kept that for my tiki torch, and it burns really good. I'll show you guys that in another video. And then this bottle here, this batch, this is double distilled. So out of the tails, like I said, we kept the heads because you don't want to drink that for the methanol. And then we ran the batch, kept all the hearts, which was the best of the hearts. And all the tails that we saved, I went ahead and double distilled it. And this is double distilled. So there's no tails left. That way it's only the strong stuff. You can mix it down to, you know, so it's a little bit more watery and not as strong. And by using the tells, it's really flavorful, like apples. You can really flavor it that way, but we like ours strong here. So out of the entire batch, that's how much we got. If you guys want to see us run the still and how we run the still, there's plenty of videos we made, temps, times, and returns. That's one video. Another one is how to speed up your still, how to make a still, how to properly clean your still. So be sure to subscribe and like and check us out. We got plenty of those videos for you guys. It was a pleasure hanging out with you today. And I'll show you guys some more stuff on the next one. And next year, of course, we'll be doing a lot more alcohol. So thanks for following my weird channel.